Hello all, welcome back to the channel. Today we will discuss about WAN 2.1 camera control. So let's be real. It's not just about camera movements, it's not just about smooth transitions, it's about total control, combining multiple motions seamlessly and Alibaba's control camera. It delivers exactly that. I have tried Recam Master before, and while it works, there are some clear limitations. But this new control camera model from Alibaba PAL, it's a game changer for image to video generation. In my tests, I got smooth combinations like panning left while tilting up or zooming in and out with my AI scenes. Now, about the models. There are two versions available. The 1.3B parameter model is what I focused on because at just 3.2 GB, basically 4 GB, it's lightweight enough for most setups. There is also a 14B version, but that's 33 GB, way heavier. Interestingly, there is a trimmed down 14B version converted to FP8. That's about 17 GB. If you want something in between, for this demo though, I stuck with the 1.3B since it ran perfectly on my consumer grade hardware. After setting up the model, I used the example workflow from the One Videos wrapper. The key difference in this version is the control embed option. This is what handles the camera motion styles. I connected it to the Anime Diff custom nodes, which give you precise control over motion types and speeds. By default, the workflow uses one camera pose, but I modified mine to use two, allowing combinations like pan left for 40 frames, then zoom out for another 41 frames. The visualization shows the complete camera trajectory before generation. Let me show you what this actually looks like in practice. My first test was an image of a woman with an umbrella in her hand where I have added a detailed prompt so the video doesn't look static. The rain looks natural. What surprised me was how natural the transitions felt. No weird jumps or distortions. And also, the background looks similar after zooming out. After tile upscaling, it looks sharp and detailed. Then I tried something more complex. This time I used zoom in followed by pan left. The detailed prompt, the result, camera movements and video generated look natural. Perfect zoom in and pan left while the camera executes both movements seamlessly. VRAM usage peaked at 6 GB, totally manageable on my consumer GPU. If you want to make out more details and fix any blurry part, that's where the Tile Control LoRA comes in handy for a second pass. Speaking of quality, here is how I handled the zoom in blur issue. After the initial generation, I ran the video through the Tile Control LoRA. This sharpened edges, improved contrast, and brought back facial details that got lost during camera movements. The difference was noticeable. Sweater patterns became clearer, facial features more defined. What's interesting is that this Tile LoRa approach sometimes works better than skip layer guidance, which is SLG, for these camera control videos. I tested both, and while SLG has its uses, the tile method gave me more consistent improvements for this specific application. So let me break down exactly how I set up my workflow for these camera control videos. In the workflow, I use the updated image to video node with control embed enabled. This connects to the animate diff camera control nodes, the same reliable ones we have used since the early days of comfyUI animations. The default speed setting at 0.1 worked fine, but I found bumping it to 0.5 created more dynamic movements when needed. For two pose sequences, like my test, I had to manually match the frame counts. 40 frames for the tilt down, then 41 for the zoom out. The visualization shows both movements as a continuous path, which helps catch any awkward transitions before rendering. What I like is how the system handles the interpolation automatically between control points. Through testing, I found these settings optimal. First, use 480 resolution for smooth playback. Second, keep frame counts between 40 to 80 per movement. Third, apply Tile Control LoRa at 0.3 to 0.5 strength. 1.3B model handled these settings without issues on my mid-range GPU. For users with more powerful hardware, the 14B version could potentially deliver even better results. Though I haven't tested that extensively yet. After putting this through its paces, I am impressed by how well control camera works for being such a lightweight model. What excites me most is how accessible this makes professional looking camera work. Even with modest hardware, you can achieve results that would normally require expensive equipment or complex post processing. I'll definitely be using this for future projects. If you found this breakdown helpful, do consider subscribing. Together, we'll keep exploring these cutting edge tools that are changing how we create. Until next time, keep experimenting. Bye bye.